Main event, man. Just tell me, what are your thoughts coming into this fight?
I'm excited. It's a big stage, and it's a huge card. And me being a co-main event, that's big. So I'm excited about this.
I was surprised that they pit Joey and you together.
Yeah.
Did it surprise you?
Yeah, it did. It did surprise me, but I feel like I mentioned, this new generation of fighters, we want to fight each other. We saw Frank Martin versus Michelle Rivera, and those are all exciting fights. Benavidez versus Plant, that's huge, and that's what we're here for. We're here to compete. We're here to bring big fights to the sport, and that's what we want.
So how does the fight play out in your opinion, given how Joey's looked the last few fights?
We'll see Saturday night, but I feel like he hasn't faced adversity just yet, so we'll see how he reacts to it on Saturday night.
What are you expecting out of yourself and out of Joey?
Out of Joey, like I said, we'll see what he brings to the table. I feel like if he fights the way he has been fighting, I don't think he has what it takes to beat me. So we'll see what he improved on, what adjustments he made. And out of me, I've been working on a lot of things, angles, setting different punches up. So I'm looking for a Joey Spencer that will bring all of that out of me, so I can show it Saturday night.
It's been a little inconsistent, just when you look at like the last five.
And this fight, I'm raising money for suicide awareness. In my father's name, so other people who need help, they can have resources to reach out, grab a lifeline, and
at the same time I have power. So with him doing that, he'll be risking a lot, and I think I can capitalize on those mistakes.
How big of a jump up you feel you are from what he's been fighting?
I feel like it's a big jump. Not to disrespect any of his last opponents, but I fought a lot of tough opponents: Vladimir Hernandez, Brian Mendoza. Different guys that have brought different stuff out of me, and I feel like I said, he hasn't had to go through none of that. So I feel like that benefits me.
You mentioned how you were surprised when the fight was presented to you. When it was presented, what did you think? In terms of. Do you think they were, like you said, it's a huge jump up for him? Was that the first thing you thought?
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I was excited. Like I said, that's another undefeated fighter, and I knew that if it did happen, it was going to be big. He's got his fans, and I got mine. So I was all for it.
Jesus, looking at this fight, obviously it's the co-main of a great card, right? An amazing card. Is there anything you think you got to do to make sure people are talking about Jesus Ramos by the end of the night?
Yeah. I think that's the type of pressure that comes with being main and co-main events. Having to show out. So I made sure I train hard, man, to put on a show. And if the opportunity comes to get a knockout, we got to capitalize on that.
You said that you feel he hasn't faced adversity in the ring.
Yeah.
How do you make sure he feels that as well, and still doing your game plan and maybe not taking as much back?
Coming out strong in the first round. I feel like right now he might have all those doubts in his mind. He has it in the back of his head, so I got to come out the first round and remind him about him, so that he starts doubting himself the whole fight.
Have you faced any other undefeated fighters? Because I feel like convincing an undefeated fighter that it's not his night is harder than maybe a guy who's lost already.
Yeah, I have fought undefeated fighters, and I think I fought one, but I feel like that doesn't matter. That the level of opposition that I fought is way higher than his, and I fought, like I said, Brian Mendoza, and it wasn't like I had to convince him the same, about losing, because he was on a winning streak. So, I feel like it's the same thing.
And just lastly, man, looking at the main event, Benavidez was kind of an amazing fight, man. Stylistically, how do you think it looks in the ring? Obviously, Caleb's going to try to box. David's going to try to put the pressure, accumulation.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the case. I feel like Caleb's going to box the early rounds, and he might get him. He might get him in the early rounds. But I feel like Benavidez's pressure is going to be too much, and he's going to get to him in the later rounds. He's too big. I feel like if Canelo was able to break him down, with Canelo being so small and not a lot of reach, I feel like Benavidez is going to do the same.
Thank you.
What's it mean to you? We asked your uncle this. Your uncle David, 3 Arizona kids, on this big card here in Las Vegas. So what's that all mean to you?
It means a lot. I feel like Arizona has a lot of talent, and we saw it with Elijah Garcia, and I feel like I said, it has a lot of talent. We just need a platform, And I feel like me and my uncle being on this card, being on this stage, is just opening doors. And yeah, we're opening doors for everybody else.
Jesus, I didn't get to hear you, but just break down the main event. Why do you feel David wins, and do we see a knockout in the fight?
Yeah, you know, I feel like I said, I feel like Caleb Plant's gonna outbox him in the early rounds. He has the legs to do it, and I feel like he's gonna do that. And but I feel like Benavidez is too big. You know, I feel like if Canelo was able to break him down and get to him, being, you know, a lot smaller than David and less reach than him, I feel like Benavidez is gonna do it a lot easier. But it's gonna take time. I feel like Benavidez is gonna come out. I mean, Plant's gonna come out sharp, winning a couple rounds. But and towards the end, I give the edge to Benavidez, and I feel like he's gonna get him out of there.
Caleb's hitting harder though now.
But he only fought, you know, Darrell in that fight. Yeah, so I gotta see it Saturday night. We'll see it. We'll see it. Like I said, it's a 50-50 fight, and I'm excited about this. This is what boxing's all about.
With your fight, do you see yourself stopping Joey?
That is the plan, you know. That's what we want. I want to stop him, make a bigger statement. But I feel like I'm a more mature fighter now. I don't go out there looking for knockouts. I just break my opponents down, and if it comes, it comes. So I think that's gonna be the case.
We saw Tim Tszyu a couple weeks ago do his thing with Harrison. Obviously, with a big performance on Saturday night, does Jesus Ramos fit in, you know, right behind there? Or do you feel you're almost ready for that level?
I feel like 2 to 3 more fights and we're right there. You know, I feel like the fights we're taking right now are helping me become a more complete fighter. You know, I've seen different styles in there. Mendoza was a mover, Santa Maria was a mover, Vladimir Hernandez was a pressure fighter. So with all those, you know, with having to overcome all those styles, I've learned, I've improved a lot, and that just helps me become a more complete fighter.
What's up, Jesus?